This is the It's Time to Refresh podcast with Brad Riffresh, the podcast about life, music, traveling, shit, literal shit that is, and weird and wacky stories with Brad and a range of guests from the planet Earth. Feel free to share the pod with your pals, your mom, your neighbor's dog, or even your shrink. It's all fun. You can follow our Facebook group called It's Time to Refresh Community, or It's Time to Refresh on Instagram. Write into the pod, ask questions, and share your stories. Enjoy the pod.
Hey kid, what time is that?
It's time to refresh.
Back once again with another podcast. On this one, we've got MC Eazy. How we doing?
All good. Always good.
We've talked about him loads on the podcast, but like fucking, we finally got him on. Finally got a date.
Yeah, man, finally. Been swerving you. Yeah, no.
Yeah. So how we doing, mate? All right.
Yeah, good. Really good.
I want to sort of touch on where we've just been. If that's all right, and what we're doing.
Yeah.
Fucking, there's an absolute beast track coming out. If you're a wrestling fan, it's going to be unreal.
Yeah.
Won't go into the finer details of it, but I'm just going to promo this now for you. It's all a bit of self-promo, you know what I mean? But honestly, fucking fantastic. I've never heard lyrics like that before. Like,
Yeah.
and you've outdone yourself as well, to be honest with you. I don't think I've heard anything of yours to that level either.
Yeah.
So it's fucking...
You got to see how the magic happens as well.
Yeah.
How calm I am in the studio. I'm totally not stressed out.
Bow! Nah. So... Basically, I've wanted you on for ages. I know you've done other podcasts and stuff like that, but you haven't really told your story on it. So
No.
I just want to sort of get your story out there and who is MC Eazy.
Yeah.
So go right back to the beginning if you want to.
Right back to the beginning. So, well, it started off. This is how it started. So, I grew up listening to hip hop. I wasn't even into dance music when I was a kid.
Yeah.
I started like listening to hip hop and like mainly Eminem was the first one I got exposed to. When from like a young age, I'm talking like 11, 12-ish.
Yeah.
And I started writing rhymes back then. Like, I can remember being 11 years old writing rhymes in like a notepad.
What?
And it wouldn't have been any good.
To like hip hop beats.
Yeah, but
right.
this is how it started. So me and my friends, we used to have rap battles. Like the world's worst rap battles, obviously at that age. Mainly just like ripping each other's mums. Shout to Glover, not much has changed, has it? You know, so that was it. Like, I started just ripping each other. You know.
Can you remember any of the lines?
No, not really. It was just bare mum jokes. That's all it was. just it would have been the world's shittest rap battles, but yeah, that's how it started. It was just us, a group of mates, just a bunch of kids.
Yeah. And where's this at? Sorry, like, where are
So
you?
my mate's shed. We'd just go in my mate's shed and just terrorise each other.
Is it round here? Like?
No, I'm from Newton Le Willows, so that's like this is Warrington. It's just like the next town.
Right.
But I got out the hood, then I moved around here. Got away from that.
Right. So then you started doing that. What
I got into the dance music, so I ended up getting. I was seeing a girl when I was in school, and her mum and dad and that they all used to go to like MCing's and pleasure rooms.
Right.
So then I got exposed to it through them, and I'll be honest, I didn't even like it back then. Thought it was shit.
Yeah.
Not even gonna lie, I did. But what happened was this is a mad story. So there was this. I used to go around there, and they used to have like the decks out, pretty much like what me and Roman that do now. And there was this older kid who used to come round, and he could MC to like dance music.
Really?
I didn't even call it bounce. I didn't even know what it was back then. But he could like MC to it. And the girl I was seeing like had a bit of a thing for him. Well, she didn't admit it, but like I kind of knew, like I caught a vibe.
Yeah.
So I thought, fuck this. So I started MCing to it, just to impress her. Genuinely.
Yeah.
I basically started MCing to impress a girl.
Right.
And like, I've done it that long, it's like I've ended up, you know, without blowing smoke up my own, but I'll proceed to anyway. I've become one of the best MCs in bounds.
To impress
and
us.
all it was to impress a girl. Again, not much has changed really, has it? You know what I'm saying?
It's class.
Man, that is really how it started. I didn't like it. It was like, you know, I didn't like dance music. I was a hip hop head. I still am. Like in the week, I don't really listen. You know, you won't really catch me listening to just bounce if I'm like, you know, about with my headphones in. I won't. It's not bounce music. I listen to rap, grime, hip hop. you know, that's
Can you remember who the MC was?
What?
In this kitchen session?
Oh, the lad?
Aye.
Nah, he's dead. I dusted him. He'd never be seen again.
Class. So that was your like first exposure, and what so that night were you like spitting bars that night, or was it like, did you go away then come back with like?
Yeah, I'd go away and I'd just like I'd used to sit round my mates, like I'd be in his bedroom and I'd play, like we'd have like MCing CDs on and that, and I'd just write lyrics. So I used to, like, back then when I was a kid and you're starting off, you're basically just ripping other MCs off, but like doing it your own way, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's what I'd do. I just started, like, you know, just writing these rhymes to it. So like obviously, you know, just like, yeah, that was it. Mainly just
class.
Just listening to like Finchy and Roach and Farrell, and just like kind of doing what they did, but in my own way. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And then from there, where's it gone?
Well, from there, so obviously
you smoked him out, right? That's him done.
So smoked him.
Who's next?
Then I binned the girl off because I realised, I'm too cool for you. Okay, I've got this MCing now. I've got no time for you. Nah. So yeah, I became like a bit of like locally known for it.
Yeah.
Like everyone in my area, like they knew me as the MC in school. Like the older kids would make me do it, like a dancing monkey. They'd make, oh god, Lomo, do some MCing. It just became my thing. It was like from an early age. Like I don't remember. As soon as I was like a kid that was like old enough to like think for myself and go out and knock about in the streets, I've always been an MC.
Yeah.
Like I've always been an MC. It wasn't just like one of these things where I just got up one day and decided I've always been an MC. Like I truly believe that is what I am. It's not like I'm not trying to be an MC. Like I am an MC.
I get what
you know
you're
what I'm saying.
So from there, like I remember years ago, I think this might be later on, but I remember seeing a video of you proper young MCing on YouTube. Like one of the first YouTube videos.
There's if you like type my name in on YouTube and dig deep enough, there's one of me from like the age of like I must have been about 13 or something. There's one it's like a terrible camera obviously, and just MCing to Tutti Frutti in a bedroom, and then I ended up going to a college. Ended up getting kicked out of school. So they forced me to do something, so I had to go to a college in Liverpool called Creative Training. So like for someone from this area, to get on a fucking train and go all the way to Liverpool, like that's like I was going there that day just like fully expecting to get my fucking head kicked in. Do you know what I mean?
I know,
because that's like I don't think anyone from out of their area had done that, like gone to that college. But I ended up meeting, Colsey.
Yeah.
So I met him. Danny R was there. Have you heard of him?
Hardcore.
The Hardcore. He was there. There was a good few of them.
So there was only you didn't have a purple fucking binner, really.
But I walked
That's what it was, innit?
So I walked in, and there's videos. If you type in Menace to the Mics on YouTube. And,
that's the one I've seen, I think.
I'm pretty sure one of the videos had like over a million views.
It's ridiculous, yeah.
I don't know. Someone's balling right now off the back of. You know what I mean? Like, but so yeah, I went to that college and then I got exposed to like Killer Combo and Strictly Vibes.
Yeah.
You're aware of them?
Yeah.
Like Rory O, Polka Splitzer, MCB with Strictly Vibes and that, and they MC'd in a completely different way to like MCs down here. So like round here, it was like Frequency and Maxime, so like Finchy and all them. It's more like a Wigan style. I'd class it as a Wigan style.
That's what I'm calling it as well, Wigan style, yeah.
So everybody around here listens to that. But because I went to Liverpool and was exposed to like that grimy, gritty, urban style of MCing.
Yeah.
Like I started to MC that way. Like the whole, I've said it loads of times. The whole reason I got shaped into the style of MC I am now because of from listening to them. Everyone always says about me, well, you're always taking shots at MCs. But if you listen to the old Killer Combo CDs and that was their style. It was like they were like grime MCs on bounce.
Yeah.
So like, I love that style. So then obviously I started MCing that way, and it just made me stand out from everybody down around these ways. Because like back then when we was kids, everybody was a fucking MC. Do you remember? I
remember. That's what I've talked about this on previous podcasts. Like, but it's a Bluetooth favorite, isn't it? Where everyone, if you had a way of recording yourself MCing, like, and you were good at it, there's a very good chance it could go viral in your area. Like it's getting played on back of buses everywhere, shit like that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if I remember going into school, like I've talked about this as well on the podcast before, but going into school and you get like different pockets of the fucking playground where they're listening to different MCs and that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. So that's it. Like that's where I got my style from. This is like the early years, and then we had like a social club round ours, and they used to, on a Thursday night, they'd have DJs in there, and they'd just do like a Thursday night thing, which was just open to any age. We'd do like an open mic.
Yeah.
And I started going there, and then obviously, you know, just getting like in the groove. This is like from like ages, like I wasn't even old enough to be in a pub, so it was like 16, 17. Just going in there and MCing with all the older kids and that, and Downsy, my mate. Downsy used to go there. Philbin used to come down a few times as well. Jonesy as well. That's where I met Jonesy.
Yeah.
So yeah, we had that, and then there was Joker's Bar in St Helens. Used to do there. Just a couple of little things that were, you know.
So how were you getting yourself out about? Was it just because of people in the local area you knew you was MC?
This is what I was saying. Like I became like a bit of like like a local hero kind of thing.
Yeah,
because everybody in my area knew me. Like even in St Helens and stuff like that, people knew me, and it was like the MSN days as well.
Yeah.
Like even I knew like of like Wayneo, and people like who else was there? I can't think, but yeah, all the MCs like my age.
Yeah.
I knew of them even though I hadn't met them, you know, through like the MSN and like YouTube days. That was when that was just kicking off. But yeah, so that was pretty much how I started getting, you know, known for MCing, and then. So
they've so they said Joker's Bar. Have they approached you and said, "Oh, we've heard you some of your stuff," or
well, a lad that we knew called Fisher. He used to not the Fisher.
Is he a house DJ from St Helens?
I think that's Neil Fisher, but there's another Fisher called Carl. He was like some lad that we knew, and he did a night called Elements at Joker's Bar. So he obviously used to, you know, book me for that. I didn't get paid for it, like, but yeah, we used to get booked for that. But then in my area, obviously one of my mates, Webby, and a few others, we had a group of, like, there was a group of us, and we called ourselves Ounce of Bounce. It was just a couple of mates, you know, just going in a shed on a Friday and just MCing and recording CDs.
Yeah.
We called ourselves Ounce of Bounce. So we used to do that for a while, and then me and Webby, obviously, we took it a bit more serious than everyone else, so we brought Twister in, and then the three of us, we ended up doing our own thing, taking what we did with Ounce of Bounce and doing Dose of Donk.
Yeah.
And then that's when it started really popping, because we started putting... Facebook was just about coming into play, so we just put Lash Hour mixes on Facebook, and I don't know, I can't even remember how we ended up like taking off. I think it was just... because Webby was just on the ball with Facebook, you know, and just putting the mixes on, whether it was the name Dose of Donk or whatever. They just people just.
So how did it start then? For instance, so Dose of Donk, like, how when you went from being the Ounce of Bounce to Dose of Donk, was it the you've went to Webby and went, listen, we need to take this more seriously, or he's come to you and said, we need to take this more seriously? I think it just happened naturally.
I don't think we had a conversation. Like we just like took it a bit more serious, so we just started doing it off our own bat. We just got into a recording studio and did it. Yeah.
I've never heard Volume 1 of it.
Volume 1's lost in the abyss now. It's so I had every volume on my computer, and I still kick myself to this day because I had everything. I had Dose of Donk 1, 2, 3. I even had bits and bobs of other stuff that wasn't released.
Yeah.
And I think the computer just died or something, and he ended up losing it all. But I had absolutely everything, I know. Yeah. And nowadays, when I see all these USBs and stuff, I'm thinking, fucking hell, we could have made a fucking killing off all that. Yeah. But it is what it is. So
what was a volume where you thought, fucking hell, it's catching fire, this?
I think it was around 7.
7.
Yeah, from the...
I think 7's the earliest I've heard, I think.
Yeah, I think it's the one that's like... I think that's the latest everyone, you know, remembers it from.
I think this is just my opinion. Like, this isn't obviously fact to anyone else, but I think when I heard you initially, I thought, oh, it's different. Like, because the one thing I noticed about the Dose of Donk CDs, it wasn't just like, like a swap and drop type thing. I think you processed your vocals a bit better, and it was much cleaner, and for people who appreciates lyrics, I think it comes across much better. Do you know what I mean?
Well, no one else was doing studio mixes. There was just Killer Combo that were doing that style of mixes. Like nowadays, everyone jumps in a recording studio. It's a better way to record. It just sounds better than a live recording, obviously.
Yeah.
So, but around that time, no one else was doing it, so I think that made us stand out as well.
Definitely. When I heard that, I thought, oh fucking hell, they've took this serious.
Yeah.
I know obviously everyone does it now, but at the time it's.
And
like,
then you could, but if you go listen it back now, like there wasn't really
not as
very
good.
It wasn't very well mastered or out.
At the time, though.
At the time, it was.
I remember hearing. It was Webby, Twister, and you all bounce off each other, and you always. All your flows just like marinated well, like do you know what I mean? Like there was like a it sounds cheesy, but there was a good camaraderie to what you were doing. In my opinion,
it was. Like, and I owe everything to doing Dulce Donk, because if it wasn't for them days, I don't know if it wasn't for them days. I still think I would have ended up, doing well anyway. But it definitely gave me a fucking good boost.
Yeah.
Because like now, when you've been there, like in clubs. When I say that I am a raver, it absolutely goes fucking off. Everybody sings it, and everybody knows it word for word. And so Eazy and What as well. And the only reason they know it word for word is because of the Dulce Donk stuff, like because they used to listen to that. But mainly that Wicked Pair promo as well. Have you heard that one?
Yeah, it's got a stupid amount of views online.
Yeah, stupid amount. I think that's had over 1 million as well. But fuck knows who uploaded it. So again, someone else is balling. Off the back of
that. So you started doing that. When did the Dulce Donk in clubs start then? What was that?
So yeah, we just ended up doing like little local things and that, and but the main one that I kind of like took us off was we ended up doing a mix first. That Overdose of Donk. Have you heard that?
Yeah.
So that was Overdose, which is Viper, Fitton and Fleming and all that. We did a mix with them. So it was like Overdose versus Dulce Donk. We called it Overdose Donk.
Is it the one that starts that big Russian tune?
Yeah.
I have that's
that
quality.
Eazy, grimy, that one.
That's class up.
So yeah, it was around that time, but we ended up doing a night in Wigan Pier. Mikey, you've just been with in the studio. He was one of our DJs. Stricko as well. He was good. He's not really doing much these days, but
he still listens, mate. I know he does. I see his name pop up on SoundCloud. So
it'd be sick if he was talented as fuck.
I
still probably is. He was good at MCing as well.
Yeah,
like, really good.
There's a few rhymes that stick out in my head that he's done, and I think fucking hell, like he's not just a one trick pony. You know?
Yeah, he was good. He wasn't just like when some DJs just jump on the mic for a laugh. Like he was good at both.
I could be wrong, but I'm sure he didn't used to produce as well.
Yeah, he did.
I've heard some of the tunes that's on the Dulce Donk things, and I'm like, you can tell it's the team who's done that tune, sort of thing. And yeah, I thought I rate him. There's another lad I rate that was in Dulce Donk for a bit. It was MCP.
P was sick.
Like he I can't remember what CD it was. It was on a certain CD, and there was you three and him on, and it's just proper bounced off each other.
When we did, like I was on about before, when we did the ounce to bounce thing, I should have really mentioned that. So when I went to school, I was best friends with a lad called Chris and his cousin Tom, and I used to go around to Tom's shed, MCing. We'd all like just MC together and that.
Yeah.
And Tom had an older brother who's Pete, MCP.
Right.
And he used to just come in every now and again and do a bit with us, and like we was always like mesmerised by him because he's a few years older than us. So he was just always sick, but like he just didn't really. He just did it for a buzz. He just did it for a laugh. He wasn't like interested in fucking taking it anywhere. He just did it because he enjoyed to do it. So then we brought him onto a couple of Dulce Donk volumes with us.
Well, this is one. I don't know if you'll watch it or what, but my missus hates MC. I don't really listen to MC in the house out like that.
Tell her to leave.
Yeah, but the thing is, she likes fucking rapping, fucking all that type of thing. So I don't understand. But like, the only rhyme she knows is one of P's rhymes. It's Big P, microphone killer, slapping MCs right in the kipper.
That's a good one. That louder was good as well.
Yeah.
Louder.
Yeah, and that's just one of them things where she doesn't know anything about it, but she must have heard that CD and then been like, that stuck out in it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you started doing the events now with the Overdose of Donk.
Yeah, we did Overdose of Donk at Wigan Pier. I think we did like 4 events at Wigan Pier.
That's a big achievement as well, because there wasn't necessarily MCs at the.
No, there wasn't. There wasn't. It wasn't not like a full night of it, really.
Yeah.
So when we did do it, it was like I always look back and say I had no rights being on at Pier. I had absolutely no rights. I think it was 18 the first time I did it.
Yeah.
And like at the time, that was like I used to go to, because Wigan Pier was like one of the first clubs that I go to. You know, when I wasn't even old enough to get in clubs. When I was around 16, I used to go to Wigan Pier. That was like really the main place I went. Like on a weekend, I'd be around with my mates and that. And I'd be like, "Should we go Pier?" We'd just get up and go because it was on every weekend.
Did you realise the stage you got at such an early age? Like, not that you didn't appreciate it, but like you look back now and think, "Fucking hell!" Like,
I definitely appreciated it, and like I thought, "Fucking hell!" Like I thought, "Oh, I've made it now." But it's mad because like even though like I did Wigan Pier with them, it was like I started off up here, like you know, getting all the success with Dulce Donk and just like skyrocketing so quick.
Yeah.
And then when Dulce Donk like kind of like fizzled out, it's like I came back down and I'm doing Room 2 gigs again. Right. And then I was in this weird position for a good few years where it was like, you know, I'm a fucking up and coming, and there was kind of always a confusing thing when people would have them fucking debates they do on Facebook, like who's the best up and comer, and then people would throw my name in, and then you get people saying Eazy's not an up and comer, and it was like a bit of a confusing time for me.
I think that
you know what I mean? Because I was doing Room 2 gigs, and then other times I'd do like I'd be on main stages with Dulce Donk, so it was a bit of a weird time, but
I know when Pia shut, and then and then I think I heard a CD in about 2013 actually, and it was the one you did with Lukey. That's still No Cheese.
Yeah. It was the first time I met Lukey, that as well.
Well, it was the first time I'd heard you away from Dulce Donk, and I thought, fucking hell, like you did one rhyme, and it was can't get no gash because it's too pricey. And I heard it, I was like, fucking hell, this is different. This like, isn't it different? And I just thought to myself, like, want to watch straight away. Like, I know him from Dulce Donk, but this is him away and he's doing his own shit, and definitely want to watch. And then I thought, just from an outsider's perspective, I seen you for a few years and you just sort of like floated around. Like, you didn't really like. Maybe a main stage here and then a Room 2 somewhere else.
Yeah.
Or like,
it was
you didn't
weird.
really know your place as such. You know what I mean?
They didn't really want to. How it was back then, like, I'll be like, it did annoy me back then, but people used to say like, oh, he's good on the CDs, he's good in the studio, but he's not all that live, and they were right. But how the fuck can I get good live if you don't put me on the fucking stage? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like footballers. You only become a good Premier League footballer if you play Premier League football.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Unless if they don't bring you off the bench and give you a couple of minutes, you're never gonna get better.
I've said
that's where I was just floating about for a while. Like,
I've said it on previous podcasts about like you in particular. I remember seeing you in it must have been a Dulce Donk, I think. It was in the calf before it was pure, and you were on, and I think it was the first time I'd seen you live, and I thought, oh, he's good, but there's just something not clicking there.
Yeah.
And then I didn't see you for ages after that, and then next minute I seen you somewhere else, and then it just as if it just clicked. Does that make sense? I don't,
you're
don't
right.
take offence to it.
We spoke about that before, because a few people have come on your podcast and mentioned about like my live game changing, which is sick, because I'm glad that people are starting to notice it, and that you're absolutely right. And I've only got good live in the last couple of years. It's like since I got made Sops resident, you know, just being around top MCs and working with top MCs all the time. Yeah, it's just like, you know, you're only going to get better doing that. You know what I'm saying?
When would you say it clicked for you? Like, because
do you know what? It was starting to click when I got made Sops resident, but still, it was like it's hard to explain. It's like I was learning on the job. Because when I got made Sops resident, rewind before that as well, I ended up taking a year out. Yeah. For personal reasons, there was a lot. You know, there was reasons behind it why I don't really want to get into. But mainly, I was just getting a bit fed up of the position that I was in, where it was like, you know, people saying he's not that good live. I'm in Room 2 doing this, and it's like, well, he's never going to give me a chance. So I kind of got a bit disheartened with it.
So what year was this?
I took this was 2016. I took a year out.
Right, okay.
But then I ended up coming back into it, and then I ended up dropping I dropped a video. I dropped like one or two videos, and then, you know, started getting a bit of buzz around me. I think like taking that year out did me some favours as well, because like when I came back, it was like, oh, you know, Easy's back, you know what I'm saying, and like people were buzzing about it. So then I started getting booked on a regular.
So when you put your own videos out, what was the first video that you brought back out?
I think I just did one with Jonesy in the car. It wasn't like anything spectacular. I just did a video like in his car MCing. But then I ended up, obviously I had a bit of a good year. I was getting booked on a regular for loads of different things. One brand that's always booked me though, and I've always got behind me. Well, one person in particular is Farrell. He's always like, even like back then, you know, he'd always put me on Sank and that, and like. So I'll always have a lot of respect for Farrell for that, because out of everybody, he was the one guy that actually did give me a fucking chance, you know what I mean?
Well, I think it was the first time I'd seen you in a main room on your own with Farrell. But you were MC Eazy with an S.
Yeah, spelling my name wrong. No one spells it wrong now, though. You already know what's up.
No, but you know what I mean? No, like, that's when I noticed, like, this might be in 2016, maybe, 2017, I think, maybe. And I'd seen your name in the main room. You weren't just... The only time I've seen the main rooms with donk, but now you're MC Eazy and you've got content going out of your own. It's like, right, the ball's rolling.
Yeah.
Right? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's when I felt like... Obviously, you're in your life doing your thing. You don't realise when it is, but as an outsider, I can see that the wheels are starting to like pick up a bit of steam and stuff.
So then it was like... I ended up getting made SOPs resident after I'd come back. And then that was when it really started to click. It was starting to click. It didn't click straight away, but it was starting to. One of the MCs, like Master C, like just being around Master C and just listening. Like he was out of everyone that I worked with at SOPs, he was the one that actually took the time, you know, to like speak to me about shit and just MCing with him and learning from him, like. Because there's one thing, like, he's fucking sick live, you know what I mean? He's like a true performer.
He's unbelievable, isn't he, John?
Yeah, energy. Yeah. So I just loved working with him. Working with him, like, definitely elevated me. But then it was like, when lockdown come in. So lockdown come in, I went through loads of shit in lockdown, like we all did. But I feel like lockdown was good for me, because it let me come away from it all. And like, you know, like look at it from like the outside. You know, when you're stuck in that bubble, it's hard to explain. But coming out of that bubble and just looking at it from outside, I don't know what happened. Something clicked in lockdown. Something really clicked with me. I ended up coming out of lockdown like just feeling really good and just being in a good place. And it just clicked from there. I can't even put my finger on what it was, but yeah, I just come back a different performer. I can't put my finger on one thing. If
I must say something, this is from about me. That when I came out of lockdown, I think the game changed. Just in my perspective, like I went from the occasional like main room, like I wouldn't get it all the time. It'd be like, oh, you can have it now or whatever, and some gigs like here and there. And then when I came back, I think people were eager to bring it back, and then it's like. For those who grafted during lockdown, you started to like reap the rewards. I felt something clicked for me as well. So, I can't explain what it is, so I can sort of relate to you on that level. Do you know what I mean?
I mean, like I would, because I do a lot of, I'll watch a lot of live performers, and not even just like performers in bounce. I'll just watch like just people performing live in general on YouTube. Like I'll watch like Liam Gallagher perform. I'll watch like old Tupac videos of him performing. You know, just watching artists just perform and how they fucking control the stage and just like take bits and bobs from that. And now like people can have their opinion whether they agree with me or not. I do strongly believe I'm one of the top performers now. Like
people, I think you've got a right to say it as well. Like,
I definitely. I know I have. Like, and I know another thing as well. Like I studied a lot of what the hardcore MCs. I ended up getting booked for a Ravens United event, and I was watching like Enemy, him in particular, and he's a fucking performer. You know what I mean? He doesn't just get on stage and just stand there and MC. Like he fucking performs. Like when you're seeing him, like
he moves around the stage.
Yeah. And that's always been one thing I felt that I was good at. I've always like. I remember Layback pulling me over and fucking telling me, he said he liked the way that, and this was like when I wasn't even that good on stage. He said, I like the way you march up and down stage, and I didn't even realise I was doing it, But like subconsciously, I remember thinking, "Fucking hell!" Like most MCs just get on stage and just stand there. It's like we've got a big stage here, fucking use it. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So I've always had like that kind of like performers like mentality. But it's like I had all the pieces and all the different skills, but it was just putting it together. And I think now, and I am gonna get better. I will get better. But like now, I feel like I'm definitely
it's all fell into place.
Definitely up there when it comes to performing now.
Saying about layback, I remember going into Sank a couple of years ago, and there was you, layback, and it could have been Duffy. I could be wrong, but I think it was you three on. And you've got like you, and you've got your stage presence. This is when I think it has clicked as well. And you're going up and down the stage, and then I see layback float around the stage like he does with his flows on. You know, because he's got that like dead laid back thing about it, and it's a good. He's had a good thing going on that stage because I think he's were like sort of like doing say like 16 bars swap, and when I was watching it was like a good chemistry of like his sort of thing, and you're like.
Yeah, I love layback. I've always enjoyed doing the Sank ones because it's like obviously I grew up like listening to like Farrell that the fucking CD from back in the day, the Crick All Night, that everyone knows. That was one of the first CDs that I really buzzed off when I was a kid. So like for him to bring me into Sank and like being around him and layback and Arky, they're all proper sound with me as well, and that definitely helped me.
Here's one for you. Got a CD from a while back. And then this is when I thought like you're gonna be great live, and it was pre sort of I think it was pre sops and all that. It was I can't remember what the event was. It was, let me see, is it M46? So is that one? And it was you fitting and Arky, and you and Arky just go 8 bars each, and it starts with Woody get into it, and like it's not tight because there is bits where there's mistakes and stuff like that, but there's so much energy going back and forth that like you can feel the presence when you listen back to the CD. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
And that's when I just thought like wheels are in motion, definitely. So you got your SOPS residency and that. What was from there? What was your first SOPS gig?
Well, my first SOPS gigs was the 8th birthday. They had me down for the 8th birthday.
So the one where you did that promo out?
Yeah, I did that promo, that one to the field by Wayne. Yeah, that was a good one.
And then sort of from there is what's been sort of like a standout for you? Where's the parts where you thought, it sounds stupid, but I'm meant to be here. This is like, you've got on the stage and you thought, smash this here, like...
Well, the thing with me is, like, I always thought I was meant to be there. It's like, I always believed in myself. Like, even when I was a fucking kid just starting off, like, I believed I was the best MC in my area. And I know it's people, like, some people, like, they look down on that, like, oh, you think you're better than everyone. I disagree. I think if everybody believed that they were the fucking best, how much better would, like, not just the scene, but anything in general, because if everyone's striving to be the absolute best, it's only going to raise everyone's game. And it's never in a way where, like, I think I'm better than anybody, fuck you, I'm going to shit on you. Like, I've got time for absolutely everybody. Yeah. But, like, I take MCing serious, and it, like, you know what I'm saying? So I always felt like I belonged no matter what, but obviously you could believe your own hype, and I probably did believe my own hype a lot of the time, but it's fucking helped me progress and get better. You know, I've got to this level that I'm at now for just believing in myself, for just, you know, when people were saying he's not good live, blah blah blah, saying this and that about me, I always believed in myself. I always believed I was good. I always believed I was good enough.
What about this then? What about Josh the person and Eazy the performer? I've obviously talked to you like loads of times, and you I sit down and I can have a conversation with you, and you don't come across as like I'm the best. You as a person, you're just dead. It is, say what you want, but like it comes across as a thing. And the only time, and you probably agree with us, right? The only time when it comes across is like I'm the best is when you put your Eazy fucking persona on.
Yeah, because switch it on, innit?
Yeah, that's it, yeah.
But it's never in a way where I mean to like shit on anybody. No, it's not. And like any of, you can ask any of the MCs, like I'm one of the few that you can my inbox if you message me or ask me for advice and anything. I'll always make time for him. I always do.
Yeah,
I always do. You know, what I mean, we're all in it together, innit? So, and not just MCs as well, like DJs as well. Like, you know, I got time for everybody.
So what was lockdown like for you then? Because you did a bit of content during lockdown. Yeah. But
lockdown as a whole at the time, shit as fuck. But like looking back, like me and Carl said it loads of times, haven't we? Like, we need another lockdown. Like, I look back at the time, I hated it. I couldn't wait for the clubs to open. But when I look back, like, I had some sick times in lockdown, and I'm glad I didn't stick to the fucking rules. Glad we had some. Yeah. So what are you gonna do? We had loads of sick house parties. You know what I mean? None of us died. Nobody died. You know what I mean?
No, I'm not.
I had some good times. It was good. You had to run off from the police a few times. Lived in a few gardens. We did that SOPs. They did that kitchen sessions, didn't they?
Yeah.
And the police turned up. Me and Belly started out the back door.
So what's the crack with that then? So you did. So has Cheese organised this to do kitchen sessions at the time?
Yeah, Cheese organised. Well, we did one at Vipers, didn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then we did another one when the police turned up. The one at Vipers was sick. Yeah. Vipers Mansion.
Is that the one with the let me think. He's had like the kitchen set up, and then there was the doorway, and you were all MCing in the doorway. So
Yeah.
Right, okay.
That's a good one.
There's loads of clips on that went viral on like TikTok and stuff like.
Yeah, it still does get loads of abuse as well. It's funny. No, but the lockdown was good for that. I think it was good for the for everybody to, you know, recharge and get creative. I feel like I always used to, I remember saying to like fucking him and Roman and everyone, I said, you know what, the scene's gonna come back better, and it did for that. Well, that initial like when it first opened, it was sick, wasn't it?
Yeah.
When I went to on the first weekend I had Sank at Flamingo, and then I went to
just Let's Have It as well.
I went to Let's Have It. And it was just good to just be out and just, you know, finally out of that shit and seeing everyone. And then the week after we did the SOPs Return. Have you seen that video of me and Roman, we do the SOPs Return when he plays Yeet?
Yeah.
That Honey We're Home video.
Yeah. That's
that still to this day is probably my favourite set. You know, just me, Roman and Duffy. And
I think it was a long time coming as well.
And a lot of the tunes that we played, like me and Carl and Rome, like we bumped them all through lockdown, like just like, oh, this will sound good in the club, this will sound good in mode.
Yeah.
And like, it was mad. By the time that set come, it was like everything had come full circle. All these tunes that we'd been playing, you know, during lockdown, we played them in that set, and it was just a magic set. And it was just like, it's just meant to be out in a club again. It was just,
That first Friday back, I remember it sank, and I remember bumping into you, and I said, who's the best wrestler in the world?
Yeah.
And, do you know what I mean? And we'll talk about it Monday. Like you were fucking 2 sheets in the wind at that point, mate, I think.
We'll talk about it Monday.
Yeah.
I'm surprised it didn't say me. Usually when I'm in that mood.
But it was a good thing for creatives, I think, because I think I like a lot more time at home to think about ideas, and obviously you'll have more time to write and stuff like that, like, because obviously everyone's locked down apparently. Yeah. So
I enjoyed lockdown. I didn't enjoy it at the time, but looking back, I actually enjoyed it. It was good fun, wasn't it?
Do you know what that sounds like? It sounds like Stockholm syndrome, mate. Like, do you know what I mean? Where it's like you miss the bad times.
If they lock us down tomorrow, they'll be like, yes. I mean, it'll be horrible after a bit when all gyms and that are closed, and then, but you're all depressed and shit. But the parties will be good.
So what happened at this kitchen session then? So you started recording. And what happened when the police came?
The police turned up. So
I'm guessing the neighbours rang them or something. Or
we did it. They did it in some bar. So they opened some bar up, and the police turned up, and fucking me and Bellis just darted out the back door. The council estate has kicked in, and the rest of them just stayed there. Got fined. And Cheese said to me like a few days later, he was like, "Why did you run it? I paid you fine." Yeah, well, aren't you glad I fucking ran? And he didn't pay anybody's fine. He's full of shit. They all like paying themselves. Like, fuck that.
Yeah.
I'm street, mate. Please turn up, I'm gone.
Yeah. From the main streets in Newton,
Street kid in me. We're fucking gone, mate. We don't mess about.
Yeah.
We had a house party at Downsy's as well, didn't we, when he moved in that new gaff? Was you there?
No, I weren't there.
Yeah, me and Jenny didn't garden. Jen was like, I work for the NHS, don't want to get caught. Lose my job. just grassed you in fully. But yeah, it didn't garden. Like it's happened a few times.
So
Fuck the police. Fuck y'all. The government too. Fuck yous.
Getting on to something now.
Here we go.
Now I was going to ask you. So you've came back out of lockdown and stuff like that. You've sort of like, pre-lockdown you did some Antidote bits as well. But after lockdown, I think you have sort of took it more seriously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we do take it serious, but we don't take it serious at the same time.
Yeah,
We're just a bunch of mates, innit? We're not here to step on anybody's toes. We're not interested in clashing. We know that it's a war zone out there, and everyone's like, they're all fighting for a piece of the pie. We're not about that. We're just a bunch of mates. We're not in it to make any money. We just want to just put nights on and just. I feel like there's a fun vibe around Antidote. Sorry, do you know what I mean? Because we're all friends and we're so close. When we put a party on, it's an actual party.
It's like a house party in a club.
Yeah, and I feel like the videos and stuff that we put online, it's always funny. It's always good humour. You know what I'm saying? And
I've seen that one with the tent in the back garden.
yeah, we do loads of shit.
Yeah,
Did you see the action video we did? I'll have to show you it.
I've seen it, yeah. And you've done from different angles and stuff like that, yeah.
That's what we do. We just mates, isn't it?
Who comes up with them ideas?
Mainly, we all chip in, don't we? We all chip in.
I ruined a brand new T-shirt that day.
Class like. So you started taking a bit more, well, not more serious, but like you came back with more brand awareness.
Oh definitely. Yeah, don't get me wrong. We're all we're all on the ball with it when it comes to like social media and stuff. We know how to play the game, but like I said, we're not here to step on anybody's toes. We're just here to just have a laugh and just put on some parties. And when we did Pure, we did the what was it? Dosing on Overdose and Antidote.
Yeah.
So when you have nights like that and you're packing out Pure and it's a brand that's just you and your mates, it means more because it's like
you've achieved it together.
You feel like Sops has got to a point where it's almost like a machine. BTID's a machine.
Yeah.
We're not a machine. Like we're just a fucking group of mates. So when I do nights like that with Antidote, it does mean that much more. You know,
it's more like you're going down the pub for a pint with your mates rather than you're going to perform.
Yeah, it feels like you've achieved something.
Yeah.
Like I've had some fucking proper sick special nights with Sops. Like fucking I love doing the Sops nights, but when I do an Antidote, like when we did the Brass Monkey, like it was a brand new fucking club, never done bounce there. It's in our own town.
That's what I was gonna
even
ask
though
you
we're not
about,
all from Warrington, like still this is our turf. Warrington's our turf. Stay the fuck out of Warrington.
How was it bringing a brand to Warrington where it's not necessarily what it like? Because you don't see much in Warrington anymore, bounce wise. I know years ago it was, but how was it bringing it? Was it a good like? Were you stressing out about how it was going to be?
Yeah, this is what I mean. It's like obviously you are stressed out over the turnout. You're spending all night, having a beer and biting nails, and then by the end of the night you're fucking bladdered because you spent a whole night anxious, and then you can't even see if it's busy or not because you're that pissed. No, but like obviously it's nervous. But then when you do a night like that and it does hit, like when we did the Brass Monkey night, it was a successful night.
Yeah, it's
just good. It's just sick. 'Cause it's like. We promoted that night, all of us off our own back. Like I said, there's no machine behind it or anything. It's just us, And when you pack it out and it's a good night, like it's just a sense of achievement in it. Like, fucking come on, fight the battle.
Are you still a local hero around here? So if you
I get noticed a lot around here. But we have this joke, we have this joke, like me and my mates. So like, I get noticed all the time around here, but it's never with my mates. I'll go town. I swear to God, I'll go town with Roman Jen or whoever, like, I'll get noticed today. I never get fucking noticed when I'm with them, ever.
Yeah.
But when I'm on my own, honestly, fucking easy, alright, everyone. I go shop, easy, at the pub, like, people recognise me. Some kids on bikes this one time were riding past, it's like, that looks like Eazy. I had to put my phone, it was like, fucking Easy. And I know it's like some guy pushing his pram, just the most random times. Like, I'll be in the shop and someone will message me on Facebook, was that you in the shop then? Like, you get recognised all the time. And I'm fucking buzzing when I get recognised. I got recognised, I went to Manchester for the Christmas markets recently, and I was in a random fucking moody pub in Manchester, and some lad come over to me and he's like, "You Eazy?" And I was like, yeah. No. And then because I was buzzing and actually I wanted proof. Proof of this rare fan sighting. So I got my phone out and sent a video to the group. Like, the fan light knows who I am. Did a video. But then this one time I was with Glover and I was walking up Winnick Road.
They didn't stop you, did they? They went, hey, are you Glover?
Yeah, so that would never happen. Some van pulled up and they were playing. I could hear me in the van, and Glover's talking to me, and I'm just like, yeah, shut up. I could hear me. And then we both floats, and this guy just sticks his head out the van, and he's like, "Phone up," and I was like, "You seen that? And right, but to Rome straight away. He's like, I just got noticed in that van. Noticed. Tell him, Glover. Honestly. I had noticed all the time around here, mate. Big deal.
So last week I had a fucking a mad one. Van broke down in the middle of between two walls, so I had to get fucking towed away and shit like that. I know it's not off subject. This is to do what we're talking about. And this was at 1:30 in the afternoon, and the fucking recovery guy never came till 12:30 at night. So I was there like fucking a while. So anyways, I got a taxi home and I just came back. I thought I'm not sticking around here. I sat there for like 2 hours. And anyways, I got this phone call. He says, "Hiya mate, I'm not sure where you are. Some Geordie was from he come up from South Shields. I'm not even sure if that's Geordie, but whatever. He come and he says, I don't know where you are, mate. Can you come to this shop and meet me here, and then we'll drive there together?" I says, "Yeah, no worries." So what? I got there and he got out the van. He went, "No way, like." I says, "What?" He says, "Are you Brad Riffresh?" I says, "What the fuck? What the fuck?" Right, my mommy said to me, "I wouldn't have believed you if I wasn't there." She's sitting there with her head like, "Oh fucking, oh my god, it was bad." And I says, "Sorry, mate." Like, he says, "Oh, I've seen the podcast clips online and all that, and you know what I mean." And I'm like, "All right," and I was like, no one would believe this if there's a thing. And I was telling someone about it, and they were like, "Oh, that's madness, that." And it was a lad who's been on the podcast before, Chris Lockie. And he goes, "That's funny you should say that, mate. I was selling a bike last week on Facebook Marketplace, and when they couldn't pick it up, they says, 'Hey, were you on Brad's podcast?'" And I was like, "Fucking hell." So people do see it. I know it sounds like bullshit, but it's like my missus was just sitting there embarrassed as fuck, and she says like, I think it's because with the podcast, because no one knows a DJ's face, do you? I didn't know what Carl looked like until I met him. No. Do you know that? No offense, mate. Like, it's one of the things. I know you've got videos and that out, so people will recognise you.
Yeah.
So with regards to like the podcast, people are seeing your face on the video, so I think maybe that's what it is. But yeah, so that was my story behind it. Would anyone believe you? Otherwise, would the fuck?
No.
Do you know what I mean?
When I went to Ibiza recently, I'm terrified of flying, so I was nervous as fuck going to the airport. I was in the airport for like fucking 5 minutes, and I was having a cig outside before I went in because I smoked like 2 cigs on the bounce because there's that fucking anxiety down my head. And some lad come over and he's like, "All right, Eazy." And I was like, "All right," because sometimes like people will recognise me and I'm like, I don't have a fucking clue who they are, and I'm like, "All right," just like blending it, like, "Yeah, I totally know who you are." And I was speaking to him and I was just having this cig talk to him. There was a group of them. And I was like, "What time's your flight?" And he's like, "Oh no, I'm not going IB for me. I'm going Poland." I was like, "Fucking hell, who the fuck was that?" I still have no idea who it was. And then I walked in the airport, went to check in, and I seen some lad in his bird there, and they shouted, "All right, Eazy." So I was like, "Yeah, I'll stay with them." And then when I got on the flight, I was sat on my own on the flight, and because I'm scared of fucking flying, I had my headphones in, just watching a video, and then some bird elbowed me. And she was like, she showed me a Snapchat. And someone had Snapchatted her because she'd been messing about videoing on the plane. And it said, "Oh, you sat next to Eazy there, you know." And she was like, "Are you Eazy?" And I was like, "Yeah." And obviously, I ended up drinking loads of gin and that with her. I'm fucking bladdered. Honestly, it's sick. It's good like when you get recognised like that, because obviously I was nervous as shit on that plane. So then, bumping into people that know you, it makes it fucking easier.
Absolutely. Honestly, when you said there, I've got this thing to Spain, I thought you were going to say, I landed in Spain and someone's went, Senor Eazy?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's the direction I thought you were going in.
Yeah.
I was like, oh God.
Yeah.
Nah. I know I'd sort of, we're talking on that, but sort of move forward, like what...
Yeah, just a proper ego trip, that one. Like, been recognised.
Yeah.
Just an hour of stories about me when I got recognised in Asda.
Class. What's this year been like for you then?
What's this year been like?
Yeah.
It's been a testing year, obviously. I always have these ups and downs though, where it's like I'll have periods where I'm just like proper enjoying what I'm doing, and then I'll have periods where I just like start to question it. Oh, like do I need a fucking break? Because it's non-stop for me. I'm like, I'm one of the most booked when it's just strictly bounce gigs.
Yeah.
When it's just straight bounce gigs, I'm one of the most booked, and it's every fucking weekend. You know what I mean? It's a lot. Like it is. It's and plus like me being in that. I mean, I've done a lot recently. To just sort my shit out and just stop partying. But like it's easy for me to fall into that trap of just partying a lot, and it's it can sometimes be toxic for me. But
you were saying about going to the gym and that to me on the way here. Do you find that proper clears your head and it gives you like motivation? Yeah, mentally, like for your music and that as well. Like, if you go to the gym before the day of a gig, do you find yourself you're more up for it? So personally, I think that's.
Yeah, I think next year now that I've like, to be fair, I've been screwing me. I've done for quite a while now, so I feel like next year once, I'm in an even better place than I am now. Yeah, you'll see a completely different side to me again. But like, I always have this love-hate thing with it. Like, I love the content side of it. Putting the videos out and. Just recording and writing. Like I like that bit. I'll never not do that. Yeah. If it's not bounce, it'll be something else. You know what I mean? I'm always gonna be creative. But just the gigging and the, how busy it is and how fast the weekends go by. It can become tiring. You know what I mean? It can take it out of you.
Absolutely.
Just being in that environment, because it's also sometimes that people are like, I tried to speak to you in such a place and you were so fucking ignorant. And like I always feel bad when people say shit like that to me, but it's like they go out for a party every weekend, so they plan their night out and they have this date when they're going out and they're looking forward to it. For me, it's just another day at the fucking office. Yeah. So I turn up some days and I don't really want to be there. I always enjoy performing, always give me all on stage, but I do have them nights where I don't really want to be there. Yeah. Do you know, does that make sense? It's not that I don't want to be there. I'll always promote the shit out of anything I'm involved with, and I'll always give my all performing, but sometimes it just becomes a graft, and it just, you just want to stay at home or just do something different.
Absolutely, yeah.
So then people will come up to you on them nights, and they're trying to talk. They're all lively trying to talk to you, and you're just not in the mood. And it's nothing on them. It's just I just get worn out sometimes. So I do like this year. I was thinking, next year maybe I do need to like, curb it in a bit, but. Like now that I'm in a good place and I'm feeling good and I'm ready to do more again, which is like it's so mad, isn't it? Because like even on New Year's Eve, I've got 2 gigs on New Year's Eve. I did 2 last year, and I was like, I'm never doing 2 gigs on New Year's Eve ever again. Yeah, here we are. I'm doing 2 again. Like I don't think I'll ever stop. Like as long as I'm able to get on stage and do what I do, I'll do it. You know what I mean? If not, bounce something else. You know.
Do you have a limit to what you're doing? So. For instance, let's say you're in the month of January. I know January's a dry month, but let's say January. Would you do gigs every Friday, Saturday throughout? Would you?
I just take what I can. I don't. I had to at one point. I didn't even fucking write in my calendar what I was doing. Now I have to write in my calendar what I'm doing because it can get quite messy. Like. At one point it was like I'd only find out I'm on a gig like 2 weeks prior to it, and like, oh shit, yeah, I'm on that. And then some weekends I'd think, oh yeah, I'm free this weekend, and then you'd see a post on Facebook, you're like, oh shit, yeah, I've got to go there. Like, but now I'm well more organised with it.
Do you find yourself less burnt out as well when you're more organised with shit?
Yeah, it's mad. It's there's pros and cons. Even though I get burnt out, one of the reasons why I have got so good. Again, blowing it up my ass, but whatever. The reason I have got so good at performing now is because I've been doing it on a regular, you know what I mean? I'm keep getting thrown into that deep end. Yeah. And that was all I ever needed. Like, I'd have never stopped if they gave me that chance consistently. I'd have never fell out of love with it. Now that I'm doing it on a regular, even though sometimes it does get tiring, it's experience, isn't it? It's experience every time. You get used to the DJs, the tunes they're playing. Yeah. Like, I know my tunes, like... that's one thing. Like, I know my tunes off by heart. Like now, like especially tunes that are popping at that moment. Because I'm like I'm hearing them every weekend. And so like you just get used to it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Or what's it called? Like your form's good, but like what's it called? I can't. You gig healthy and you you're primed and sort of thing. You know what I mean? You're in that
battle
cycle.
tested.
Yeah, you're battle ready sort of thing. So like, for me, it's like when you go and do a set, and it's like you feel like sometimes maybe you're playing the same tunes over again. This is a DJ. But it's when you think about it, you've only played them a couple of times out. Where some people might have only heard them a couple of times, but to you it might seem like you sort of burn yourself out of it. But you're not. It's like they've come to see you say do So Easy and What, for instance.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you might think, I might be fucking rinsing this, but you're not though. Like,
Yeah.
'cause, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's it. And the DJs thing as well. It's like people, you know, mainly other DJs, like, they play the same set all the time. But like, if you go watch like top level DJs, like who are all on the big festivals and stuff, they always play the same sets, but it's because they're playing the tunes that bang them. People want to see.
Yeah.
People want to hear. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So the sets do, like, if you notice, all the top tier DJs, they do tend to play the same set every time when they're on something, but that's what people want to see from him, innit? You know what I mean?
Absolutely, mate. So back for part 2 of the podcast. This is going to be the questions. We've got a few questions to get through, mate. As I say, so let's do this. This is from me. So I'm going to ask you this one.
Aged.
Who's your wrestler of the year for 2023?
Wrestler of the year. Really like Kenny Omega.
Kenny Omega, man.
Yeah.
Yes, class. No arguments.
MGF as well, though.
MGF's had a good year. But
Kenny Omega's the guy.
He's
He's probably the
guy,
best wrestler on the planet.
ever. I think he's my favourite wrestler ever. Him and Bret Hart. Fucking.
He needs to do one WrestleMania before he.
No, he doesn't.
I know, but but he should do. Just for his legacy.
Yeah. Who's the goat?
Who's the GOAT?
Yeah.
Stone Cold Steve Austin, in my opinion.
Not a bad shout. Not a bad shout. I just added that question in for myself, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
This next one. Would you rather shit yourself every time you had an orgasm, or an orgasm every time that someone said your name around you? And that's from Paddy. You've got to remember,
When someone recognised, honestly,
Eazy!
I'd pick getting recognised in front of me mates over shagging a bird any day. Shagged enough birds.
You just want the recognition rather than the
shagged
shit
enough
yourself.
birds. Never get recognised in front of me mates though. So I'd defo, like, you know.
No, but think about the inconvenience. I've got to think about this logically.
So when a lad pushing his pram,
Yeah,
the kid in,
exactly.
goes, yo, Eazy, you just jizz your pants.
Come in my pants.
Yeah.
You've got to think about it like this, right? Let's say I'll set a fucking scene up for you, right?
Go on.
You're on the stage,
Yeah.
you and Cova back to back,
Killing it.
and then he's going, and he does a rhyme like Eazy, take over, and you've just fucking come on stage.
Well, I won't come myself if he recognised me because.
No, you've just
he knows
you
who
just
I
said
am.
your name. I said every time anyone says your name.
Oh, someone says my name.
Yeah, well, Eazy. There you go, mate.
So basically, if Culver said my name, I'd have to come.
Yeah.
Be a bit weird, that.
So that's why there's ultimatum. What were you saying? So
Imagine
are
if they put a spell on me where it's like, if Culver says my name, I'd jizz.
just in the gym working out. Whoa!
Culver said my name again.
No, but what I'm saying is, yeah. I mean, if you were to go to a sops night, right, you'd be sore the day after, because how many people are going to go Easy, and you'd be burnt out.
There is
mega
a second
burnt out.
option. You forgot that already. haven't you?
Yeah.
Yeah,
so-
I'm just thinking about coming my pants now.
No, but what I'm saying is that's why it's an ultimatum. What you're going to do? Are you going to shit yourself? What was it? Sorry, shit yourself every time.
You could be shagging and
Yeah.
instead of jizzing, you shit yourself at
Exactly.
the end.
How big is Josh McLean's dick? That. Like a baseball bat. Go on, what?
So go on. What are you saying?
Ask me it again and I'll... Go on.
Right.
Yeah.
Would you rather shit yourself every time you had an orgasm,
Right.
or orgasm every time someone said your name around you?
Right. I don't do poo very well, so the second one.
You're gonna be honestly, that's gonna be fucking painful if you go to a gig. Like,
You'd be jizzing.
yeah, there's only so many times you can jizz in like a day.
Don't tell him that.
Shut up.
No. But what I mean is, he's bound to be like fucking
I'm not
dust in the end.
pooping myself. Imagine you have a bird around and you poop yourself. It's already the whole ordeal's
I won't get into
the whole
that.
ordeal's already embarrassing enough.
I've done
They gotta
that.
poop as well.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want. As soon as I've busted, you've gotta go. I would have to kick them out and wipe my ass as well.
So do you know what's funny? Right, I put the questions out for people, and I just released an episode about me shitting myself. So someone's seen it and thought, I'm gonna ask this question.
Right.
So that's a
amazing question.
Yeah, right. So and for my answer, I'd probably, for convenience, probably shit myself every time after a thing. That's just me.
Your
Right.
morals are all wrong.
It's just a numbers game, mate.
Yeah, I can under the toilet
jack
afterwards.
You're fucked either way.
Right. So next question.
Go on.
So if you were promoting a night, and you had to have a bit of a shake-up, you had to book a DJ to MC and an MC to DJ. Who you picking? And that's from Mossy.
A DJ to MC and an MC to DJ.
So do you know any good DJs that can MC?
What now? Oh.
You just need to do, or you just for fucking pure comedy purposes if you wanted to.
Yeah, for pure. I'd make Cheese MC. Because it'd be fucking awful. An MC to DJ?
Yeah. Who will be?
I'd get Viper because he can DJ a bit and
Right.
he could throw some bangers out.
Do you not think?
So I'd have Viper on the decks with Cheese MCing.
So Cheese is MCing over Woody get into it
Yeah.
essentially, isn't it?
On
Yeah.
loop.
No hosting either, he's got a leg off.
Yeah, class. If I had to pick, who do I... Right, I don't know, you know. Who's a good MC that's a DJ? Do you know something? I don't even know. I can't...
Yeah.
Off the top of my head, I don't... There's nobody that's...
Can't think of anyone off the top of your
Yeah,
head. That's
I apologise, that's it.
Farrell can do both though.
That shouldn't really count though, should it?
No, it doesn't count.
It doesn't count.
Yeah, he's eliminated.
Right, and the last question for today is, how's 2022 been for you? Did you have a New Year's resolution last year? And sorry, I haven't put a name to that, by the way.
I don't so much do New Year's resolutions, but this next year is just about just being proactive and making the most out of your life, and just being happy, being on top of your shit. Because this year, I've seen a lot of just stories of just people taking their own lives. One of our mates did, and it's just important to keep your head right.
Yeah.
And to live every day to the absolute maximum, and just to fucking look after each other and just be
Speak
there
to
for each
people
other,
as well,
you know
like,
what I
you
mean?
know what I mean, yeah.
There's another thing though as well, it's okay, it's good to talk. You should always talk. Every time I've had an issue, I speak to my friends, speak to Carl, and I instantly feel better when I've it feels like there's a lot of weight off your shoulders. But you've got to do shit to help yourself. You've got to do shit to help yourself. You only, there's no rehearsals at this life. You're on stage now. It's on. You know what I mean. You got to do shit. You know what I mean. You only got one life. You got to do things to keep your head right. Whether it's eating right, going to the gym, just being proactive. You know what I'm saying. Just keep your fucking head right. So next year, I don't have any real, goal in particular. I mean, I've got a few things that I want to achieve, which I will achieve, but for the main part, just to enjoy my life.
Do you want to share any of that stuff you want to do?
Nah, because don't tell people what you're gonna do. Just do.
Don't
it.
show your hand there. Yeah. So I believe in what you said. Like, a problem shared is a problem halved, isn't it? But it's only halved. You've still got to deal with your own shit.
You've got to sort out yourself. You got to.
Shit that works for me personally is, I think that if you go to the gym and you have a good fucking cardio workout, right, you come away, and if you felt fucking depressed and you've got shit on top of you, afterwards you come away, and regardless of how bad life is, you've got that little bit of that little breather.
Whenever goes to the gym and comes out feeling worse than they did when they walked in.
Absolutely.
Well, we're in a scene where it's this party culture and that, and we all like to have a party, but it's got to be in moderation. If you're going out every weekend and putting God knows what in your system, even just alcohol, you're gonna feel lousy and shit in the week. You just gotta know your limits. Do it in moderation. Enjoy yourself, but know that you've got limits. And I think that's where me and my mates are at now. We're all getting to a point where it's we're all cautious about that and keeping our mental health in check. Well, we've got a good group of mates, so it's a thing like with us and Antidote and that, like, yeah, we're all MCs and DJs and we all do these events, but like away from it, we're all mates and we all look out for each other. It's important to have a good group of mates. If you surround yourself with fucking deadheads and dickheads who don't push you, I'll just tell you what you want to hear, and I'm lucky enough that I have friends that will pull me aside and tell me when I'm fucking up. But they'll also, like, want to do something good. They'll always get behind me and, celebrate with me. You need that. You need good people around you.
Good setup, absolutely. So you're not going to share your goals with you, but
I'm just going to do them.
I'm just going to do them, right? Well, I just, when that got sent in, I remember I posted something earlier in the year saying goals for 2022, and I realised that I didn't hit almost every single one of them. So it's so I had a remix 20 records from my childhood, done one, so that's failed, right? Produced 4 original tracks, I did that, right? Yeah, I think. Do you not believe? The only reason I'm showing you this is because hopefully somebody can take this away. I think if you write shit down, it makes shit happen. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you've got a bucket list of what you want to do.
Yeah.
So I've got a list of guests on this podcast who right. I want him, and writing it down is like half the battle of it's gonna happen for me. Like I said before, I know it's dead cheesy, right? But like dream, believe, achieve. If you believe that you're gonna be the sort of top of your game, then there's nothing from stopping you being top of your game.
Self-belief is like the key. You gotta wake up every day and just, you gotta believe in yourself. You gotta believe that you're the fucking shit. Otherwise, if you don't believe in yourself, who else is gonna fucking believe in you? You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And self-belief will take you far. Well, I believe so anyway.
And it was finish a sample pack. For band producers, I haven't even got round to doing that yet, because I'm not one of these people who'll just pick sounds out and just fucking fire them into a pack and then there's the latest pack. I thought I'm going to do it. I'm going to write records and then take it out of the record that I've used it. So if I've used it, I know it's good enough for a track. So sorry that hasn't been done either, because I know people will refer back to this post when we talk about it. Next one was residency for a club/brand. I think I'm sort of there with Sanks. I've done every single one since.
Yeah, because you never actually said you're a resident.
We've talked about it, and he said like I'm sort of unofficial resident sort of thing.
Yeah, he wanted me to be resident, and then obviously I got made SOTS resident, but I think I am a resident because I'm seen to be on everything anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's like not been spoke about, but technically, and plus I'd fucking if Farrell ever called me to do anything, I'll fucking do it. You know what I mean, within reason. I'd hide. I'd help him hide a body, but it like depends whose body it is.
And my last one was, most importantly, enjoy the journey and make the effort to be more talkative. There was a hidden message in that a little bit when I posted it online. I did write a post about it, a screenshot of my goals, and the hidden message was I was starting a podcast. So I think I've sort of achieved that one. It's got better as of when I started. Me sitting here with you today is sort of like my mental health counselling, if I must say. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like talking to people who are in the same wavelength, in the same scene, I find it quite therapeutic. So I've achieved that for my own sort of personal goals. Same with every other podcast I've done. There's always something that you click with on the same level. Some more than others, obviously, but that's what I found for me. So that's my goals. My goals for next year, I don't really have any, because not that I don't have any, because I'm very driven. But as you say, you want to keep not close to your chest. I just want to get this bigger. I want to just sort of push this. I'm going to be doing It's Time to Refresh live, so podcasts live, like before an event. Get characters like yourself on, and we can have a sort of laugh interaction. You can do whatever, and then afterwards have an event.
Yeah,
so
that'd
book
be
the club
good.
out for the full evening, and then maybe close for an hour so you can get it set up for a night, and then
That'd be good.
So that's in the works already. So that's the thing.
Yeah.
So back onto you. Sorry, I've like sort of stole the thing there, but like I was just wanting to get
started talking about your fucking self.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's just one of them things.
No,
isn't it?
I feel.
Yeah. I know, yeah. Just what I mean.
You put me up to that.
No, music. When you said goals, like I've got goals, but like they're not music goals. They're like the goals that I want to do, personal goals. But music wise, it's just to keep at it, keep fucking growing as an MC, keep cementing my fucking name, building a fucking legacy. You know what I'm saying? But content-wise, I got a video coming, which will be sick. And then after that, I want to do another one. I just want to keep hitting them with content. Since I started doing these videos, every year I've done at least 2 fucking decent videos. So I'm going to continue with that. 2 decent videos a year and just keep hitting it. And then before you know it, when it's all said and done, you know, people can go on YouTube and watch back what I've done. You know what I mean?
Well, I'm not just saying this because you're in the room. I'd say if it was me and Cal just doing a thing, right? What you're doing now, I don't think it's getting enough credit for what it is, because you're pioneering this thing. Like, this project you've showed me here, it's so outside the box.
Yeah.
Like, partly why I want to talk about the goals, because I'm intrigued to where you're going to go next with it. And when I see what you're up to today, and what you're going to do with it, it's like no MC in this thing's ever done that. And like, I know people are going to be questioning what it is now and stuff like that, but you'll see soon enough. Probably by the time this comes out, hopefully some it's like, and I'm just thinking to myself, like, if you're thinking outside the box for what you're doing now, what does next year bring? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
it's got to keep going up and up and up. Like the videos that MCs do now, they just keep getting better and better. Like that one that Luke and Culver did. That game one that they did.
A level up was that?
Level up, yeah. Like the concepts of that, like visually, it looks the fucking absolute shit, doesn't it?
Do you find that that gives you motivation to go one level?
I was on about this. It's like a game of chess, isn't it? Like in a completely healthy way.
Yeah.
It's like you make your move, now I'm making my move. You know,
you wouldn't create what you've done today without other people.
Well, watching them do that's like right, you know, and then like it's sick and that, but it also it gets me that feeling where it's like now you've done that, I've got to do this.
Yeah.
So the thing with like with Pressure, for example, like there's loads of MCs in bands, loads of sick MCs, but Pressure's I've said it to him loads of times. Like since he came back, he made. If you go back and listen to my older videos before Pressure come back onto the scene, I wasn't going as hard. I think it got to a point where it's like everybody knows I'm a hard MC. I don't really need to go out and prove it. Then Pressure come back and it's like right now I'm level, and in a completely healthy way. It's like I always say to him, it's like Superman and fucking Batman. It's like you know they can't really coexist in the same city, but they need each other. You know what I mean? They're both capable of doing different things, but they're both together. They're fucking sick. You know what I'm saying? Like
you're not the first person to have said that, by the way. Like I've talked to people and they've said when Pressure, I've heard Pressure and it's like made me think. Go back to the drawing board and carry on.
When me and Pressure do something together as well in the comment section to it, it's always like people arguing amongst each other over who's the best. But me and Pressure are tight and cool. It's like, but him definitely like elevates me. I think it's like the Ronaldo and Messi thing. It's like, would Messi be as good? Would he have became as good of a footballer if he didn't live in the same generation as Ronaldo? And would Ronaldo be being as good if he wasn't competing with Messi? Like it's healthy.
But we know Messi's the GOAT.
Yeah, we all know what the real fucking GOAT is.
Like I can totally see what you get, and I see people putting tunes out, and I'm thinking, fuck me, I'm gonna fill up my game. Like it's healthy competition. It's not when people are bitter and stuff. Like because you do see some people where it's like they've released something, it's like that's shite. When no, it's not shite. You're just jealous. Do you know where I'm coming from?
Yeah.
I don't want to get onto this negative subject or anything.
No. Music's a matter of opinion.
Yeah.
Taste.
Yeah, but some people would say that's shit just because they're jealous of how good something is. It's like I said, I don't imagine, we're talking off pod, I said I don't imagine you have many people who hate you, because the only people who would hate you are jealous of
idiots. Thick people.
People who are jealous of what you can do, because like I said, I think you're top tier of MCs within the scene, but it's not undeservedly. Like some people you might think, they don't deserve to be there, but the only people who can hate on you are people who are genuinely jealous of what you do.
And plus, I think it's like they don't look at you like you're a human being as well. When I'm doing these videos and I'm MCing and putting them out, it's like they look at you like you're a fucking cartoon character. They don't look at you like you're a person with feelings.
Yeah.
I don't really dive too deep into comment sections anymore, because I always find something that pisses me off. So what's the point?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But
do you not find that you when you do it as well, you look and you might see 100 good comments, but the only one you take on board...
That's just natural for humans, isn't it? You, all the good comments, like fair enough, but that one negative comment will stick with you.
Yeah.
It's always some helmet though, isn't it? Like nothing like Tim. Tim off that after...
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's always... That's what I mean. Like, you go to the comment sections and, like, you find... And you click on them and they're like, yeah, but look at your bird. Look at the state of your bird and you're giving me shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? Though you look at it, go on, and you're like, yeah, but look at you. Why are you waiting? How could you hate on me? You fucking dweeb. There's always the proper little nerdy fucking gimps in it that do all the hating.
Yeah. Right. So for today, we're just going to
end it on a positive note.
End it on a positive note, right? Food. Yeah. Are you a foodie?
No, I don't eat, mate. Anything. Just eat MCs.
Who tastes the best? Nah. So what I do with everyone is I say, if you're going to get the electric chair because you've just been...
Oh, yeah, I've heard this.
Right. What's your meal you're going to go for?
I don't know. I'd like
starter, main, dessert, and a bev. What you go for?
Starter. Oh, fuck's sake. I've heard you ask these questions loads of times and I should have thought about it. Starter. Can I just pick anything? It doesn't have to be an official starter.
No, yeah, go for it. If you can eat it all at once, then go for it.
It doesn't matter if I don't eat it all. I'm still gonna die.
Yeah, no, but if you think you could, I could tackle that.
Starter, main, and a dessert.
Yeah.
Fuck it. I'd just have some garlic bread and lasagna and some chocolate gatto or something.
Don't talk gatto.
Yeah, don't talk gatto, mate.
Was that?
I love it. I love it.
Right, yeah.
No, I had a family-sized portion the other night when I was a bit fucking... Just before we done Carl's recording, she says, oh, no one wants this gatto and I've defrosted it now. And I said, that's not a problem. And I just fucking ate the full thing. I'm not joking. It wasn't like one of the normal sharing. It was one of the Christmas-sized ones where it serves like something like fucking 12 people. And
Jesus Christ!
Ate the full fucking thing. Sit there watching an episode of Shameless, just fucking...
It's easily done though, isn't it? This is what I mean. I can't. Like I was saying to you before, I can't have stuff in the house because I'll just go through it. I'll just, you know what I mean? It's just not good. It's not good. But yeah, that's what I'd have. It's simple. It's boring. I'm probably gonna get bare shit for it. But
no.
And there's the bev I would have.
Go on.
It'd have to be a Captain Morgan's and Coke with some ice.
Nice little wash down that as well. Well, it's been a pleasure having you on, mate. Is there anything you would like to plug before you go? Where can people find you?
So it's at Eazy back again on everything. Yeah. It's like Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. Don't really use that, but I'm on there anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just expect more content. You know, more gigs.
All I'm gonna say is expect a fight. Would you say?
Yeah.
Expect a fight.
Get ready to rumble.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Right, yeah. Cheers for coming on, mate. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
If you enjoyed the episode, then share it with your mates because it helps the podcast. If you've enjoyed fucking Lomo, then you can like go and search him, fucking search his shit up and see how good he is. The videos on YouTube are quality as well. But yeah, if you've got any questions for the podcast, at It's Time to Refresh on all social medias. Thanks for coming on, mate.
Glover's my smoked spice.
And cut.